Dear Cosmo babies, today we are sitting down with special guest Amber Pope to talk about a very cool, new, and innovative way to look at cosmetology school and future salon life. I'm your host, Annie MacArthur. I am here with my co-host, Erin Gray, and our super special guest, Amber Pope.
Hi, guys. So I met Amber when we were at an SR Hair Society event in LA. And the thing that I loved is I was covering it for Sally Rogerson, but I kept coming back to Amber and we were just chatting. Like we were just talking about hair schools, bridging that gap between school and salon. And she's a former, or I guess a current educator for Moroccan Oil. And so just kind of talking about all of these different paths in the industry and how to support and grow and mentor students from those initial stages of opening up my perm rods in class with zero idea about what's going on to, I just took my state boards and like, I know stuff, but I don't feel like I know all the stuff yet, and you just are like kind of getting your feet wet and you're looking for an assisting program and you're looking for a salon home, but you're not feeling really confident. And now she's doing these really incredible things, and partnerships. And so I knew that we had to have you on here to talk about that. Amber, can you just give us a rundown of like your life right now?
I am so thrilled to be sitting here talking with you guys because, Erin, to your point, we just connected so quickly and gelled so fast because we're clearly two passionate people in this industry. So I am so grateful to be able to sit and share with kind of what the current state of this business looks like from my perspective, but also so excited about the future and the future generations to come too in this industry and this whole I've lived every tier of it for so many years. And now here I am giving life and a career to these, other students. It's really, really exciting. So life today looks like a lot of education. I fully stepped away from behind the chair, which was a bit of an identity crisis. And then I had to realize, oh my gosh, there's so many more things that I'm going to get out of helping others in their journey in this amazing industry. And so stepping away was a big change. And then it allowed me to really carve out space to begin to really stretch my personal wings of education, finding new lanes to be in with from Moroccan Oil with Salon 27 and those hands-on education workshops that I do in the industry and then as well as in the business, in my business. But Salon 27 has had a flourishing education program for many years, but it has its best successes because of the network that we have in the Arizona community, and then even outside of that too. But it comes down to connectivity, right? And all of us coming together to want to create something that is going to be inspiring for, to your point, those new baby stylists that are just finishing rolling their perms and going, yes, what do I do next? We want to be an inspiring next step for their journey, but also how do we streamline that so they don't feel like they just went through all the things that they needed to get that hot little piece of paper in their hand, and now to start over again, we want to do it in an accelerated way with good foundation that's already in place, and then teach them in a tailored way rather than this sort of tear you down to build you back up mentality that I know so many of us came from.
Yes.
So, I mean, it served me well. It was a time and a place, but so today that landscape is changing. It's always changing. The needs of these new industry, which will become leaders, these baby stylists are going to be leaders, and where they're standing today is a very different place than it was 16 years, 17 years ago for myself. And we have to switch and change and make new, exciting ideas happen so that they feel like this is a career that's going to be with them their entire life, their full journey. It's not just something of like, oh, I tried it, that didn't work. No, we're going to give them an actual successful, bright future and longevity in this business. So how it's all coming together is through partnership. And like you mentioned, Sally has been an amazing mentor and close connection to myself through our backgrounds previously. And then as you fast forward to Sally opening up her cosmetology academy here in the Phoenix area, we worked together early on because it's Sally and her education is incredible. Like, let's just start there.
Stylists who learned from her directly. We said that, when she first opened the school, like, oh my God, can you imagine you go to hair school and you're learning from Sally Rogerson? Like what that education looks like and just the immense opportunity it gives you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just for the people listening, can you give like a little bit of information on who Sally is in case they don't know?
Yeah, well, Sally, her laundry list of things that she's accomplished in her career is pretty profound. But Sally was senior creative director of both the London and the California academies at Sassoon. And so her background of education coming from a place and kind of born out of, I think she said that, she was the weird kid growing up and that she found this like love of being around other strange artsy people that happened to be hairdressers. And I was like, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. And so her journey, has been many, many years, but as she's developed working in a company like Sassoon and then finding her own artistry and then finding her own ability to create amazing foundational education from a platform of you're just off the street. Let's teach you all the things that we need to teach you in 1,000 hours and how to do hair. And she provides and it works. And her students are incredible. When they hit the pavement running to wherever they're going to land behind the chair, they are set for success. That's a testament to what an amazing educator she is and the amazing group of people that she brings together to help drive this new and exciting project that she's got with the school. And on top of that, she does advanced education too. So she's going in 800 different directions.
That's kind of where that connection came from. Was you have this incredible salon in Arizona, and as you were seeking new talent, it seemed like you were getting it from SR Academy, right? And so, is that kind of where this partnership developed?
Yeah, I think Sally and I think we connect on a deep love for the industry first and foremost. And it's just in us to want to give more and to do more. And so, she and I could waste hours and hours and hours talking about how much we love the industry. But yes, to your point, her very first graduate out of SR Academy is one of the most successful team members in my salon business today. And to watch her journey to come out of cosmetology school with Sally, right, to sit for state board and then to join us because of that network. Like Sally does a great job of sort of hand-holding with the students and doing a salon tour within the community that we have here, really bringing together other like-minded salons, holding us all close together and then demonstrating to the students we're all a little bit different. But this is something that you might like vibe on so quick going into that salon, but they're all working at a higher capacity with outside of cosmetology education, with some offerings there for a sort of technical next steps mastery to getting behind the chair. And so because of that network of Sally, demonstrating to the students what is possibly out there, we connected really quickly with her first graduate. And like I said, she's an amazing rock star in our organization. And it's a testament to that she's got the fuel. We lead with passion first. Our number one at Salon 27, our number one cultural value is passion, and you have to have it in order to do any next steps in your career and have longevity. You have to have that fire still burning. Her students have that because it's contagious, and Sally's contagious with the passion that she has. And then next to that is a good foundation. She came to us with this incredible set of skills that was already present because of that foundation she received from the academy. And then we were able to tailor her next steps of in-salon education at a quicker clip because it was there and it just had to be utilized in a real world manner. So we do, have a structured model program that we have in Salon 27, which it really sits in the same likeness of what those students are used to having at the academy. So finding a model, working on specific type of technique, structuring it to where are the areas of growth and opportunity at, and really celebrating what are they already really good at doing. And so that is where the modification comes in with, if we're going to, from a Arizona State Board of Cosmetology standpoint, downgrade the amount of hours that we are now, sort of impressed upon to have to do, we want to also make sure that our programs outside of that 1,000 hours are not going to be so long that they're going to lose steam and never see a future.
Absolutely.
So again, taking those areas that really need to be honed in on to improve those techniques, but then to celebrate what they're already doing so wonderfully and allow them to do that with maybe a junior role outside of, you come in, you start working on your models. I identify right away, your color theory is there. Your root retouches are clean. Let's go ahead and get you on the floor, taking a certain skill set of services while we work on developing the others. So they feel like there's project or process of success is happening in a quicker timeline. Other than like, so for the next 3 years, you're going to be sweeping the floor. Like,
yeah.
And for the record, though, none of that goes without saying that it's all the little minute things that really do matter. I mean, I say it all the time that it even counts how you fold a towel really matters and how you section hair. And so it is an attention to all of the detail and sort of, you do still have to earn it to a degree, but it isn't like, crying while you're being berated by like,
absolutely. Yeah.
You didn't fold that foil the right way.
So you guys just recently announced this partnership between Salon 27 and SR Academy, and you've come into the academy. So now, as a student who's just looking at school, what potentially could that journey look like if I enrolled in SR 27 and then moved on to Salon 27? Because that is what I think you guys are doing so well, is this taking you from day 0 to like year 10.
Right. It's incredible to be able to, again, have this relationship that's brought us together, because right away it allows for, again, students to see what the potential could look like. They're seeing other people who graduated from the academy before them have these amazing and tremendous successes. But it allows for us to right away identify like who is going to be a right next fit for Salon 27. At the same time, it really does allow for us to, again, create those network of relationships within other salons in the community, bringing us all together to elevate collectively. And so I think with having a hand in being able to push forward with all of the message of what it's now SR 27 Hair Academy, the message that we have between myself, Chet, who co-owns the salon with me, and Sally, that, we want to be seen as a voice for outstanding education that is really rooted in artistry as well as fundamental craft technique. But to be able to use Salon 27 and the platform that we already have established in the Valley with our network of clients, our community around us, to say, hey, this is a salon that's been known for stellar work with an amazing reputation. And I pinch myself every time, like I get another 5-star, from a guest. It's incredible. And guests saying how much they love their hair. I mean, we're doing something right, but I never take it for granted. And having that discussion with Sally of saying, we've got this voice. Let's take your voice and our voice. Let's pull together, expanding the eyes that we possibly have on clients being able to say, oh, you know what? The salon that I go to, they actually just opened a partnership with the hair school, and they're moving it over to the East Valley. Like, I know your daughter was saying they would love to, go. So again, it takes so many more people, their eyes and ears out there to say, oh my gosh, there's a salon here who's doing great work. And now they have a school where they're cultivating amazing talent from the ground up. It allows us to grow this in a way that I could never step in and do this without somebody like Sally. And I really hope that I'm holding up my side of this partnership by using the megaphone that we have with Salon 27 to say, we deeply care about every head of hair that is in our salon that we're working on. We deeply care about the talent that we are growing, and we deeply care about having a voice of positivity and success to elevate this industry. And at the end of the day, I think that's what this partnership is doing.
I think it's really special what is happening with SR 27 Hair Academy and Salon 27, because Erin and I have seen many schools all over the United States and North America who either have a school and then open a salon or are doing the same type of thing. But what we hear a lot, especially from the students who are trying to transition into those salon spaces, is that it's really difficult because of the elitism that comes along with that. And I could never go to the salon that the school has because I'm not good enough, or it's too hard, or it's really tough to get into. And just from what I have seen and know about with your school and salon, is it seems like all of that quote elitism that comes with it is not there. It's such a community driven safe space to transition into your future career. And I think that is so unique and important, especially today in today's industry.
I literally have misty eyes right now because it matters so much. It matters so much that people feel supported, right? You've gone through all the hard work and you've given yourself finger cramps from the perm rod rolling and, but you don't want to be torn down. You don't want to feel like you're not good enough. You don't who would ever want that? Who wants to be in that? Again, back to that tear you down to build you back up mentality, or
Absolutely.
the elitism. And so much of that, there's a whole other dialogue we could have about why that's even a thing right now, but it is there. And I think the open arms of what we try to do and the message that we try to have within the salon, and then as well with the academy is truly acceptance. And it really is like Salon 27 is a community salon for all. It is in our tagline, and we mean it. And I mean it with every possible new hire that walks through our door. We are not above anybody else. I am not above anybody in my salon. And at the end of the day, if I didn't have my team and even our youngest team members who are just taking their first steps, if they were not part of this organization with Salon 27, I would just be back in my own booth, just foiling away, just me, myself, and my client. At the end of the day, I'm a stylist first, I'm a salon owner second, and now I get to have a hand in the guidance of, the early beginnings of someone's career in this industry. And it means a lot. And it's never going to come with a big ego, because who's got time for that business? There's way too many positive things that we would rather be doing. And let's be real, Sally is absolutely mind-blowing incredible as an artist, and there is not 1 ounce of any of that negative stuff that you were just speaking of that she even put in her body. It is
very
not
true.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think, as Annie was talking about, we know a lot of school owners who are like, oh, let's open up a salon and then we can feed our students there. And I think one of the reasons that I've never seen it be successful is because they're not established salons. The school brand is very established, but then you open up a salon and it is, let's be honest, it's very, very difficult to transition a client who is coming in for a $42 full highlight to a $120, color service. And so I think where they faltered and made the mistake is that they haven't partnered with a successful salon, because when I'm just graduating school and I'm working on building my books, but if there's no one coming to that salon, that's real tough to do. And without clients, you starve, right? And so to partner with one of the area's most solid and successful salons, a salon that already has an education program, that already is pushing assistants through, but has clients. Let's be honest, you need clients. And so I think that that's what you guys have done so wonderfully. And to be able to, like you said, kind of put that ego to the side, because you both had very solid, successful, well-known brands. And to be able to say, let's just combine them. Let's be best friends, brand wise, and let's put this together and create something that really is going to work, I think is so beautiful. But I think that's the only way this works. I truly, truly believe that the way that Salon 27 and SR Academy came together, I think that's the only way that a salon academy situation really works, because they both have to be successful and able to stand alone so that they can stand together.
Oh my gosh, I could not agree more. And I think too, there's amazing building blocks that happen in the middle between that paper in hand and then full-fledged behind the chair. And what I think is super important that Sally and her team of educators do very well, and their instructors in the academy, is that there is a little bit of, you gotta want it. And you got to show me you want it too. And to create that drive, again, it's coming from passion. At the end of it all, it's coming from passion. And what I think is really exciting, to your point, what you were saying about to go from, hair school prices to what behind the chair looks like, there has to be a little bit of ownership from the graduate into the salon, as well as a journey with the client perspective as they're growing with the stylist who's training. So right out of school into the, assistant program and education at Salon 27 is going to look like, discounted prices,
Mhm.
but they have to do the work to invest them in themselves, to show what they want to work on, go out and promote themselves, have early dialogues of, let me do a pre-consultation with you before we do a model session in the salon.
Yes.
Creating this drive, right?
Mhm.
For them to be self-starters. So there is a little bit of putting feet to the fire within a, kind way of like, you've got to do the work to promote yourself within this time frame. Get people to work on, show us what you got. And those guests who are now, enjoying amazing work, but at, not quite hair school, but just above, when they then go to we've now graduated to a junior position, it's just another step where the entire time then from school to assisting and training to then junior stylist to level 1 stylist, those clients have been able to be part of that journey with them as they're developing their own self-confidence, their own skill set behind the chair, and that's being celebrated at every turn. So we see that being, influenced from day one at the academy and then moving on until, they're fully behind the chair. And it's a really cool thing to see. It's a really cool thing to see.
Amber, if you had to like pinpoint 3 things that you guys are doing really well and that are different from what's out there, what would you say they are?
I think a high caliber of instruction is top notch. So we're going to say that first and foremost, and how important we value that. I think next to that is going to be the class. Like, what does the class volume look like? Instructor to student, small, tailored, where they can really make big impacts on a daily basis because of that ratio. And then I think at the end of it all, and it maybe just to blanket over, is again the connectivity that we really are trying to bring to the community at large in terms of supporting other salons. Again, I keep saying that are like-minded, who value the same things that we do, and that we're imparting into the early steps of these students as well. So I think that we kind of want to be the glue in a way, we do. And I think that connectivity is really, really important. And I think it's also, think back to your point, it's showing that like there's enough space for us all to be completely incredible in this industry. And so, not every single student is going to come out of SR 27 Academy and come to Salon 27, but we're going to find them a fabulous home somewhere to where they can take their next steps. And it's going to be done with like, we're cheering for you over here, and I want to hear every step of the way of your journey. So I think that like network and that connection is really important at the end of it all. And I think, again, it comes from just who Sally is and who we strive very hard to be at Salon 27 too. So,
well, when we look at your placement rates, I mean, you guys are pretty much 100% placed, which coming from my background in hair schools, that's really tough to do. And it's not like, oh, they're working at the tanning salon or they're working as the receptionist at a salon somewhere. Like these are like legit, like, oh, they're in this assisting program there, like people are really working and really doing things. And I think that really is such a testament. Yes, you have smaller class sizes, but every one of your graduates that we follow on Instagram, I mean, they're working, they're doing hair, and it seems like they're thriving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think the exposure that they get every step of that journey too, where like, if you look back 10 years ago and what academies were there and you were going with big names, like consumers knew what those schools were, and so many of them are just non-existent anymore. But in those types of educational models, because it had so much, corporate backing to it to fund it, you could get really cool opportunities to see a hair show or to see a special guest artist. Like over the course of so many, over the last decade, we don't see that happen as much here in the industry here in Arizona, that those same offerings are not being, here's the whole big world of hair. Let me show you and get you so excited about what is on the other side of this journey for you, or how high artistry could really take you, into what lanes it could take you. Sally does a fabulous job at demonstrating all the possibilities, and her, team of instructors do the same thing, is that there is eyes on all aspects of the industry. You might leave and just specialize in one thing, but here's all the amazing ways that you could do that. You might leave and you decide that, hair show is everything to you and you're going to strive for that. So there is flourishing and thriving on all sides of this, but at the end of the day, they're all doing it, and they know what the future of this industry has in its possibilities for them. So it's really cool. It's like, okay, yeah, you can actually master graduation. That's amazing. But you also know how to participate in a photo shoot. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I love that. I love that you expose them, that they do photo shoots. They're taking social courses. They are, I met a couple of your students in LA when you and I met, because they, you guys opened it up and you were like, hey, we're doing this event in LA. We could use some assistance. They're able to go and assist, and the same thing with an event that they have coming up this weekend, where I know that you have students going too. You have students going to assist some of the biggest names in the industry. And, and I know when Annie was in school, because she was one of my students, she would have chopped off her right arm, quit her job, moved out of her house to live in her car to do those things. And it's and those were always the opportunities that I was most excited to give my kids, was here, go assist this person on this photo shoot. But they are so limited. And unless you have people in a school that are actively looking to create opportunities for them, then they just go and they get their hours and they take their tests and they go to state board. And I think that's what's maybe lacking in some of the corporate schools, is just that passion, and people, taking accountability for these students and saying I'm with you, and we're going to find something awesome for you, and you're going to work really hard, but so am I, right? As your educator, as the school owner, as your student services person, whatever that looks like, I'm here for you in a real and meaningful way. And it's, it's hard to find that. It's hard to find that.
It's those unique opportunities that come up, because I feel like when you look at a larger school, even if it's private, even if it's not a corporate run school, but it's a larger school, you miss out on those unique experiences, because there's so many students that you have to cater to. When it's a smaller school size and a smaller class size, I think that those unique opportunities open much bigger doors for people, especially in the beginnings of their career.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I could not agree more. And seriously, that's why we get along well. So guys, literally, we're all yeah, I totally agree. Tell me more. We can change this whole industry. I know it. I know. Just one chat at a time.
Yes. So I have a question that I like to always ask people, and not just on the podcast, but in general. One of my favorite things to ask is, what advice would you now give yourself back in beauty school?
I would give myself the advice to be more fearless in allowing myself to be okay making mistakes. And I think I would honestly, I wake up in the morning and I have to tell myself that too. So I will say that even today, I need to continue to tell myself, it's okay. It's okay. The best tools we gain are from the most epic of failures. And so I was always so terrified to make the smallest the smallest mistake out of fear for what would happen. And that changed the way that recognizing that changed the way that I am as an educator now too, because it's super important to embrace the biggest mistakes, because you'll never gain better tools unless you do it. You got to do it. So I would tell myself that. I'll tell myself that in the morning too.
I think that's so hard too. Like, it's so hard when I'm like a super perfectionist. And when you have built your skills to be really good at, a handful of things. And then to like look at possibly like just totally failing at something, is really terrifying, really terrifying. And and it can keep you from taking opportunities, because you're like, I'm not sure. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I'm not 100% sure that I'm qualified to do that. But who wakes up as a stylist and decides like, you know what, to hell with it. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and like be a co-owner in a hair school. Like, why not? So I think you obviously have some of that in you, like some of that, like just run to the edge and jump off, into the nothingness. Because owning a school is hell, just working at a school is like a very real lifestyle. And so I like taking ownership of that and being like, all right, I'm on the hook. That's scary as hell. That is really scary. And to also be like, but I'm also going to maintain this, this salon over here and continue like, do you ever feel like, oh my God, like do you ever feel spread too thin? Like how are you going to get it all done and show up for everybody at 100%?
Yeah. I think that this business at every aspect just takes, in terms of like leadership, management, instructor, all of those higher levels of what this industry is, it takes the most insane amount of energy. You can't lose energy. And if you feel like you are, I have learned that is my moment to remember that is why I have amazing people on this journey with me, is to help them grow by helping me grow as well. And so when I get those feelings of being spread too thin, or that I have no more energy, that's a weird thing. I'm a very high energy. I can do a lot of things, but sometimes we hit the wall. And when we hit the wall, that's where I turn to Chet as co-owner, in partnership with the school as well. And he can help me get strong again. I can lean into Angela, who's our salon director, and I could not do every day unless she was there. And I trust her immensely with the journey, and we're all in sync together. And then you put Sally in this mix with us now too. And for all of us collectively to be able to communicate, to share, to help each other out. And in this partnership, it's already happened numerous times where it's like, hey, this is the threshold. I can't do this anymore. Who's got me now? And we do it. And I think that's the thing with having a collaboration, and then also just having a successful business means you have trust in people who can really deeply help you when you need it most. And I'm thankful for that every day. For the last 7 years that Salon 27 has been in operation, I have not done any bit of it by myself. And I'm celebratory and grateful of the people who have been there to remind me that I've got the energy to be able to do my portion of it, because they've got the other stuff on lock. And I think that we sadly see a lot of salon businesses and salon schools, and even people exiting out of the industry because they have not found the people to help them thrive. And I'm really grateful that we've got a good backbone in this team we have.
I love that. Okay, so if people wanted to follow this new journey, or maybe reach out and be like, oh my God, I need help. what can I do? Where would they find you?
Well, I'm always feet firmly planted at Salon 27 in Mesa. So you can, stalk me there. It's fine. I'll be there in the salon or the academy. So really we've got brand new, so excited about the brand new launch for SR27 Hair Academy website. So that is coming. Look to see that live and in action, and countdowns on. No pressure to Chet right now, but I think like 5 days and it's a go. And then the academy is actually relocating to the East Valley in Mesa. So we're really excited that it'll be a brand new space. So we'll be posting obviously on our online channels. So we have SR27 Hair Academy on Instagram, Amber Pope Hair on Instagram, and Salon 27 AZ on Instagram. I love all the questions. I'm always here for anything and everything to share and try to just be a sounding board if anybody needs anything in any aspect, from, hey, what do I do? And next steps, I just graduated cosmetology school. What advice do you have for me to do my first interview? Or I'm here for it all in every aspects of it. I love getting to share like this.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's so incredible. I love the energy that you bring. I love the experience that you bring. I don't want to say that's unusual, but I think what you are bringing is unique. And, when passion and experience come together, it's unstoppable, and just someone who's like, you're very driven, to like do more and be more. And I think that your students are really, really lucky. And obviously your salon staff, have found a culture that they can really explore themselves and grow in, and I think just your longevity and success is such a testament to that. So yay for Amber.
You guys are the best. Oh my gosh. Can we have a talk again tomorrow? How about that?
Right. Let's pump you up. Like it'll be like a little morning alarm. Like, Amber.
I love it. It'll be perfect. Well, thank you to all you guys bring to the industry. You guys are just innovators in what you do. So, I mean, right back at you, and so much passion. And like I said, clearly we connected like in a snap. And I'm so grateful for what you guys bring and to bring me into this chat as well too. It was really amazing.
Awesome. Well, I am super grateful that we were able to have you on the podcast episode today. And again, if anyone wants to make sure that they give Amber a follow, you can follow Amber Pope Hair on Instagram, Salon 27 AZ on Instagram, and SR27 Hair Academy, all on Instagram. And just thank you again for taking the time to be with us today. And anyone listening, we appreciate our listeners. Make sure that you like and comment for future episodes, and hit the subscribe button on Apple iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we will see everybody next week.